the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. Welcome to the Wednesday podcast.
Look, you can't tell this story on air.
I can do whatever I want.
You hooked up with a girl called Maureen on a plane?
No. Maureen was a beautiful lady who has just lost her husband.
Yeah.
And I don't usually talk to people on planes. I like to have a bit of a kip and listen to a podcast or some music. But Maureen had me fascinated and told me a story that is perfect for what are the chances?
Out of 10, how good is it?
I'll give it a 9.
Oh, it's a 9?
Then I'm going to follow it up with another story that's going to blow your mind even more.
What's happened to you?
It's in the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about your daily scrub. How often are you doing it? Are you a 2 showers a day person, Ryan James?
I am, yes.
Thomas Bryan?
Yeah, I'm 2. The other day I had 3.
Did you...
Yeah, is that
Why?
a bit of a
That's-
water wally?
What did you do, mate? And what for?
Well, I got up early, exercised, had a shower, but then went on a long walk
Okay.
and then had another shower at lunchtime.
Yeah, I get you.
Right before bed.
Any kind of... Yeah, a walk is known as exercise. You do
Yes.
feel like you have to freshen up a little bit,
Yes.
don't you, Tom?
Well, you don't want to get into bed with your partner.
Right, so it's not for you.
Grubby.
It's not for you.
No.
It's for her.
Everyone else around me.
Okay, well, that's what this story's about because Donna, she is the latest...
old kebab.
Yeah, the old kebab, Donna McCarthy. She's come out and said that she was a ballerina, a professional ballet dancer, and she has come out and said that she, after spending 2 weeks with a tribe in South Africa, she is now down to showering once a month. She said the only reason that people shower so much like Thomas Bryan Ivy is because we are concerned that someone else is going to tell us that we smell. She said, I face that fear and I live and I'm all right with it, guys. And now I'm down to once a month. She follows Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, who have said occasionally they'll scrub their private parts and under the arms.
What?
There's other celebrities like Jake Gyllenhaal who says no to daily scrubs.
Well, I suppose you can get through it. And I mean, there's people on the street that you actually see, and there's an aroma that they have behind them.
Oh my God!
But I suppose it's the routine that you get into, isn't it?
I mean, from day dot as a kid. Do you know we've got a bit of an issue at our house at the moment? What's the time? 6:10, probably safe to talk about
Okay.
it. Lisa's got an event coming up. Well, we've got an event that we have to go to on Saturday. Sorry,
Yeah,
we
right.
get to go to on
Marriage
Saturday.
counselling?
No, it's not marriage counselling. Anyway, she has borrowed a dress from a friend of hers. And the friend said, yeah, go for your life, wear it. Anyway, she's picked up the dress. It stinks. Oh. Like really bad, B.O.
Oh, wow.
And this friend's just in town for the weekend and she's here for some fashion thing.
Yeah.
So she said, I wore this the other night. It's a great dress. You can wear it. So now Lisa's like, well, I can't wear this.
Yeah.
So she said, I'm in the dilemma now.
How do you wear that out? Do you just leave that on the clothesline?
No, it's a dry clean job.
Oh.
She said, come and smell this. I couldn't believe what it was. It was like she was asking me to test the yogurt again. Do you know what I mean? No, it's out of date, darling. I'm not putting that spoon in my mouth. So she said, I don't know whether to... I'm going to have to get it dry cleaned, which is going to cost me $150.
Yes.
So if I don't get it dry cleaned, then she's going to think that I've worn it and I've given it back to her and I'm the stinky one.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether to say to her, hey, babe, it's a bit on the nose.
You can't wear
It's
it.
a bit on the door. She can't wear
You
it.
cannot wear it.
Because unless it's dry cleaned and she wears it, and then she'll probably have to dry clean it again after she's worn it.
Because Lisa she sweats profusely herself.
Oh,
so once
God.
she sweats and that hits the
That's-
other sweat...
Double stink.
Oh, my God.
So you stink on stink, and nobody likes stink on
I
stink.
told you the other day, I had a mate come over and he just, for some reason in my house, he popped off his shoes and his feet stunk. Oh. And I went, does that even happen anymore? Do people have stinky feet anymore?
I don't know. I mean, if you still wear sneakers without socks, you're going to get stinky feet, aren't you?
Well, is that, are you
Don't
not
you?
washing the socks?
I
Or
don't know. I just would have thought that it was pretty standard. I mean, what's changed in shoes since we were younger? Sometimes as a kid, as a teenager, I never wore socks and my shoes stunk.
Yeah.
Remember those odor balls you could buy from the chemist to keep in your shoes?
Yeah, that's
or just got the odor balls in my shoes?
But you're not supposed to shower. This is the thing, aren't you? And you're not supposed to wash your hair either, are you?
Well, you got to break through that. I think if you that non-shampoo hair wash thing, you've got to break through a couple of months, and then it's fine for your hair. But until then, you're just some grease pot.
Okay,
some homeless-looking grease pot.
Tommy, you want to know? You want calls on dodgy showerers?
Well, you can. I mean,
Are you
this time of the morning.
Are you going to call?
Well, I'll just If you see a guy called Tim ring through, that'll be me.
I love it when you go to the bathroom. Tom takes his toothbrush to the bathroom here at work. He's deodorant, but if you walk in before he's sprayed, he'll be sniffing his pits with his shirt off in front of the mirror. It's just an unbelievable
It is weird.
scene.
And in his office. Tash, who do you know?
Oh, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me this morning. to talk
Any
about
time,
stinky
Tash.
people.
You're a really lovely lady.
You know a stinker?
Yes, I had a girlfriend, and I'll never forget, it's something that actually sits, I will bring up.
Yeah.
We were about 15, and we went to the Sydney Royal Easter Show, and we'd been walking around all day. And we came home, and look, I'm all right with people if they don't want to shower in the morning, but you have to shower at night.
Of course.
Once a day is
Please,
you have to do that.
Especially being around
And we got
carnies.
home after seeing all the animals, and she goes, "Oh, I don't think I need to have a shower." I was like, "Girl, you need to have a shower."
Yeah.
And guys, she did not shower, and I did not have her back for a sleepover. I was repulsed.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, Tash, there was a guy.
Friendship done.
There was a guy that used to work here. I can't remember his name, but I've never ever smelt anything like it in my life. Where if he had been in a room or an office and you walked in, you could barely breathe. And then we had a lunch, and he turned up to the lunch in the same outfit.
Don't.
Everybody at the lunch, and we were in a private room. Do you remember that, Ryan James?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was trying to enjoy my sushi.
Don't know who you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No.
It was terrible.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What are the chances?
You have my attention because you know I find these stories of chance and coincidence fascinating.
I was flying yesterday. No, I wasn't. I wasn't
What?
at a
Drinks?
rave or anything. No, I was on a plane. Now, you know, what do I usually do on a plane, mate?
Sleep with your little neck pillow that you've dribbled into for 40 years.
Don't like to talk. I like to have a good sleep.
He goes in the exit row and he just sort of leans and crawls up into a ball with his 6'6" legs.
As Whipper's holding on for dear life with his fear of flying, I am fast asleep.
I'm sort of 3 reds down trying to have a chat.
I'll say hello to people, but I don't really like to have a chat. So when I woke up on the flight yesterday, Maureen was sitting next to me, and Maureen, you know, what's the other thing I like to do on a flight? I like to get out my Sudoku book.
Oh, I'm very good with your Sudoku. How old are you?
Maureen was a demon.
Really?
At genius level Sudoku. And
No way.
I was watching her just put down number after number so quickly.
Not in your book.
She's a freak. And I actually said to her, I said, I'm sorry to bother you, but you are unbelievable. Can I get some tips off you? Because I love Sudoku.
Dirty flirt.
Yeah, and then we started chatting.
How old's Maureen?
She would be late 70s.
Okay.
She started talking about her life, and she said, yeah, I'm flying back to Sydney because I've just moved there and to be closer to my family because my husband, Victor, passed away 2 months ago from Parkinson's
sorry to
disease.
hear.
And I said, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Maureen. She goes, thank you. She was such a lovely lady, and she said to me, do you know what we did for Victor to remember him? He loved his trains. He loved hobby trains. He loved watching trains.
Okay.
So she said we spread his ashes over a train track, and we got the whole family together, and we watched as a train went past, and we all waved to Victor as if he was on the train because that's what he loved to do. She said,
beautiful.
I've only ever been overseas twice, over to America, and I went there for Victor in 1990 to watch trains. She said, I went to London in 2017 with Victor because he wanted to see trains.
And she stayed with him, did she?
Yeah.
And
Well,
is at this stage you sort of rolled over and tried to go back to sleep?
no, the way that she was telling this story and her love for Victor was unbelievable. So anyway, they spread the ashes over the train tracks. And as the train goes past, they wave, right? And the family, they remember Victor. And they feel like that he was there on the train waving back. Anyway, a few weeks later, one of the family members is talking to a new couple that has moved into their street, right? Yep. And she's asking a bit about them. What do you do? He says, I'm a train driver.
No way.
And she said, oh, that's interesting because one of our family members, he loved his trains. And he said, you know what? It's funny you should say that because the other day I was driving my train and I saw a family up ahead of me and he said, as he was saying this, he's going to his phone and he goes, for some reason I was compelled to take a photo of them. So he gets out his phone, shows her a photo, and it's them as a family waving back.
I've got goosebumps.
And this woman goes, oh my gosh, that is us.
That's me.
And we had spread one of my family members, Victor's, ashes over the train tracks and we were waving to him on the train. He said, do you know what? I actually felt like for some reason I had to take a photo of this family.
There was a connection.
Victor was on the train.
Wow. Although Victor was gone, he was still on the train.
13 24 10 if you've got a what are the chances?
Oh, my God.
What are the chances?
I've got another one for you.
Hang on a minute, you're loading up.
I was so interested in
off.
Maureen's story that I left my wallet on the plane.
Idiot.
What are the chances?
Quite high because you leave your keys up here every time you walk to the car park. So that's quite common, that one. Did you go and get your wallet?
Man,
Idiot.
What an idiot. No, I've got it.
Taken back by Maureen.
Thank you to the lovely ladies at Qantas who rang me straight away and said, we've got your wallet.
That's a great
There's
story.
no money left in there. I had $1,200 in there.
Yeah, Maureen took it.
Okay, so I've got a family pass to Sea Life Sydney Aquarium and Wildlife Sydney Zoo.
All right.
If you've got a story of chance or coincidence.
Lachlan, welcome to the show. Well, what are the chances, Lachlan?
Yeah, g'day guys. How you going?
Yeah, strong this morning, buddy. What's your story?
Oh, look, I got a bit of a what are chances of a what are the chances. So I'll set a bit of a context.
Yeah.
But so I work as a firefighter, and I've met a mate through that, and obviously me and my partner and him and his missus catch up. They've been doing it for about 3 years, right? Yep. Catching up, dinners, go to the pub and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably about 2 months ago, I actually got on a what are the chances on the show, and I explained my what are the chances. I'll give you a quick rundown just so you remember it, because you might have forgot. But basically, I went out on my jet ski, I had a GoPro on it, I lost it in the water.
Remember it?
And then, yeah, good. And then it washed back up on the shore.
Yes.
2 weeks later, it rocked up at my house.
Yes.
And basically, I'd filmed myself on my car driving from the surf club all the way into the driveway, and the ladies followed it and got it back. And I said, wow, what are the chances? I didn't win, but anyway. So that night, I catch up with my mate and his missus and my partner, right? So we go to the pub, and I'm like, it's a pretty big deal to be on the Fitzy and Whipper show, and I wanted to boast. I said, listen, guys, I've got a what are the chances. I was on the show. This is it. So I'm explaining the whole thing and quite animated. Anyway, they get to the end and they're like, well, I've got a what are the chances for you. So we're just take it back 3 years we've been catching up, right?
Yeah.
So 2 weeks before catching up for the dinner that time round, she's going through her phone. And she finds this photo from 11 years ago of her and a firefighter on a Christmas day doing like a community event, right?
Yeah.
Turns out that's a photo of me 11 years ago. We've been catching up for 3 years and we had no idea of the link that I'd known his missus before I'd known him. What are the chances? On the night. That's crazy. What are the chances?
Well, it depends. If she's got a thing for firefighters and would go to the local station to get photos of blokes in overalls with no top on, then I would suggest the chances are high.
Mate, but what are the chances
That's
on
good.
the day I tell her what are the chances?
I know. And what are the chances of you losing again, Lachlan? We're going to
Lachlan.
We're going to find out. Leanne and Pickers, what are the chances?
Okay, hi guys. I'm actually an international flight attendant.
Yep.
Just talking about your last story, Fitzy. What happened was I was not in my usual occupation at that time. I was on ground duties because of the fact I was pregnant with my second child.
Yep.
And so I was working at the base. and I was going to and from work on a bus. And at the bus stop, I found an earring. It was beautiful. It was old filigree garnet, and I was like, oh, what a shame that somebody's lost this.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, I was back at the base, and I was sitting at my usual desk, and down the stairs came another flight attendant, and she looked around looking for somewhere to go, and she came to me at my desk.
Yep.
And as she got to me, she's dropped all of her things in front of me. And being fat and pregnant, I got up and I thought, I better help her pick her stuff up.
Yeah.
But there on the ground in front of me was the other half of the earring.
Oh,
and I was looking at it thinking, what? Do I have it on me? Was it attached to me? I don't know how it's here.
Yeah.
And she says to me, oh, you wouldn't believe it, I've lost the other earring. And I'm so sad, it's my grandmother's and it's very important to me. And I said, well, would you believe I actually have the other half to that earring?
That's a friends for life moment.
Leanne, that's given me goosebumps as well. For her to drop all her stuff right at your desk as well.
My God, Leah and Camden, welcome to the show. What are the chances?
Hi, guys. My dad received a phone call a couple of years back from a bloke looking for his adoptive mum.
Yeah.
And they got talking, and it turned out his mother was my auntie. My dad never knew my auntie had a son.
Okay, break
and they got talking.
okay.
Sorry. And then they got talking about like where he grew up and all of that sort of stuff. And it turned out that he grew up 4 houses down from my dad.
Oh,
and
Slightly confused. So she was looking for her biological mother?
so he was looking for his biological mother. He's adopted.
Yeah.
And my auntie was a bit of a transient person.
Sure.
So usually left my dad's number places to find her. And that's how he came across my dad's number. And turns out, and then they ended up just like hanging up the phone, and he went down the road and had a beer with my dad.
Oh my God.
That is 4 houses down, and it was his biological father.
That's amazing. Leah.
Tommy, I don't...
What are the chances?
First of all, Lachlan, we're looking after you today. You're getting a family pass to Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, Wildlife Sydney Zoo.
You've won it. Proud moment for you, Lachlan.
Can I tell you another what are the chances?
Oh,
not really,
my God.
no.
And no, just before you do, Leanne, you're getting one as well. And Leah, you're all getting family passes. You can book your tickets online at Sea Life Sydney Aquarium and Wildlife Sydney Zoo for an animal adventure these school holidays. But can we go back to Lockie? You
got another one, have you, mate?
Yeah, I do, because the day I did the What Are the Chances, the person that won was someone talking about ashes and, like, a funeral.
Yeah.
What are the chances that you had a story about that on the same day as well?
Oh, Lachlan, what are the chances?
Good things coming through, Lockie.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
You'll have to call back next week for the 4th. He's on fire.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's go over to London. Police Minister Dame Diana Johnson. She was speaking at a conference for senior police officers. This was on Tuesday. And she was there talking about... Well, she was giving a speech blaming the Conservatives for an epidemic of antisocial behaviour, theft and shoplifting. Theft is out of control, she said, and we need to do something about it. The unfortunate thing was that the hotel where she was talking to the senior police officers up in her hotel room, she had her purse stolen.
Well, she makes a good point then. Very valid point. Did she organise her purse to be stolen just so that her comments were valid?
Oh, did you steal from the wrong person? Or did they steal from the wrong person? I mean, this is the police minister. They would have had no idea that they've stolen this.
Until you pick it up and go, this is a bit heavy. What's inside here? Oh, it's a badge. Whoops. Put that down.
We should maybe put that back.
Let's go to the next room.
Well, because we spoke about this not long ago, but remember on A Current Affair, the ex-cop, he was an undercover cop, and he was put his car up on Facebook Marketplace. Andre Azar was his name. It was a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and he had a family rock up, and they had 3 sick kids. They said, we really need a car. We need a bigger car for the kids. He felt sorry for them. The woman said, look, my father father will deposit $11,000 into his account, and then he received a notification from his bank 5 minutes later for the amount, but it was not yet cleared. So he felt really sorry for this couple. They said, we'll pay the extra $1,000 when the registration was changed over, but the $11,000 has gone through. He said, you know what, no worries, it's not cleared yet, but here's the keys, took off, and they stole from an undercover cop.
Do you remember there was a terrible story, and it's sad, Matthew Newton, remember what happened to him? He was in a taxi one time, and he either tried to do a runner or he got into some push and shove with the taxi driver, and the taxi driver was an amateur boxer.
Yeah, I know. I do love these stories.
God.
I love these
Who was
stories.
just earning a little bit of money on the side.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time, Matthew Newton.
Yeah. Okay, we're looking... Did they steal from the wrong person?
Christian Camden, welcome to the show, buddy. You stole from the wrong person?
Win Wednesday, win the week.
Thank you.
Well said, son. Well said.
These people didn't win. It mustn't have been Wednesday, but they decided to try and steal my friend's dad's lawnmower at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
But he heard them and decided he would chase them in his underwear down through the local park with a machete, trying to catch up to these two juveniles.
Oh, how did that end up, Christian? Everything okay?
Lucky for them, they were teenagers and quick on the foot, because they would have been found in pieces, because he was nuts.
Actually, this year, Christian, one of Lenny's teammates' dad was at the game on a Saturday, and he's a pretty big boy, and he was pretty upset one Saturday morning as Lenny was playing football. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I had 3 of my motocross bikes stolen from my backyard last night." I said, and he was really, really upset. He was on the phone to the cops. A week later, I said to him, did the cops catch the guys? And they went, no, yeah, they did, but we actually caught them first. And let's just say that they were struggling a little bit.
So they probably won't steal the bikes again, is what we're saying. Sometimes better to leave the police out of it.
First and last time.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
My God, it's come out this morning that Bruno Mars has said, hey, enough's enough. He's represented by Tempo Music Investments, and they are suing Miley Cyrus for copying Bruno Mars' song When I Was Your Man.
I didn't have any idea about this, but why haven't they... Both songs have been out for ages. Why has it taken so long?
Well, you're right. When I Was Your Man was out in 2013, and that's been out for the last couple of years. Flowers. What I think is strange about this, I mean, everybody knew that this was a reaction song, and she had reacted to what Bruno was saying about how he handles himself in relationships and what he should have done, where she's coming from a female point of view saying, I can buy myself flowers, guys.
Wasn't it targeted at Liam Hemsworth?
I mean, that was the layered part to it. But nobody, and I don't think even Miley, was denying that it wasn't linked to Bruno's song. It was inspired by, as I would suggest every artist does.
Oh, come on, Miley.
So you just heard Flowers, but the song I'm talking about, which was Bruno's, if you've got it there, Jess.
I should have bought you flowers.
Great song.
And held your hand.
That was a hit. That went to number 1.
Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party.
So what they're saying is, they've come out and claimed it's undeniably based on the combination of the similarities between the two recordings. So the Flowers, they're saying, would not exist without When I Was Your Man.
Okay.
No, of course. I mean, it's like anything. It's like Pitbull. When there's a trend on, Pitbull will follow that country music theme that's happening at the time.
Do not drag Pitbull into this, mate. He is the OG, the original and the best.
So many artists do it, though. I mean, Post Malone's done a little bit of country lately because country is big at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but you can't rip a song...
But it's more the lyrics, which, I mean, I've lined them up here for you.
Okay.
So you'll hear Miley, you'll hear When I Was Your Man, and you'll hear Miley and the similarities of the reaction to.
I should have bought you flowers. I can buy myself flowers. And held your hand. And I can hold my own hand. Should have gave you all my hours. Talk to myself for hours.
Gosh, yeah.
Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. I can take myself dancing.
She's saying I don't need a man. Just a reaction to the song. I don't see there's a case here. Case dismissed.
Now, do you think this is Miley doing it herself or someone around her?
Great question.
How much does Miley write? I know she does write quite a bit, Tommy. She's
because the previous song, we spoke to her about that, Fitz, and she wrote it in a cab on the way to a music awards. And she wrote it like in 4 minutes. I can't remember the name of that
Because you've been to a few songwriting conventions with her, Tom, haven't you? With Miley Cyrus, where you sit around a bonfire and you come up with a new song.
Yeah, absolutely. Every other weekend. She wrote it with a guy called Greg.
Not Greg, was it?
Yeah.
The Greg?
The Greg.
As in-
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And they sort of recorded the demo. Greg and a guy called Michael Pollock recorded it, a demo for her. And
I
then
knew he'd be involved.
Yeah. So Greg and Mick are to blame.
Mick Fitzgerald.
This is...
Do you know the other one? I mean, this was the big one that's been spoken about before on this show. Gautier. And they're somebody that I used to know.
Yeah.
Like, we know that was a massive song. And I think, roughly, if you have a worldwide number one, that equals about $15 to $20 million. And this song was number one.
It was more than number one.
It was knockout.
It stayed number one for close to a year in certain countries. It was crazy how successful this song was.
But then, the owner of that part, which Jess, you just played, which sounds like Bar Bar Black Sheep, can we go from the top of that one? So this bit here, and here we go. So just that bit, which is like Bar Bar Black Sheep, that was owned by somebody else, and he used it in the song. But the person who wrote the Bar Bar Black Sheep part had died, and the rights were left to the brother.
Yeah.
So Gautier ended up having to halve his earnings with the guy who found himself with the rights to Bar Bar Black Sheep. Have you any? I don't care about wool.
That's not a good example.
I'll take 10 million.
But
hold the wool. I'll take the 10 mil.
Do you know, Wally, who is Gautier, apparently was happy to go, all right, yeah, I understand, that's fine, and was happy to hand that money over.
That's the game.
Money didn't mean that much to him. He just wanted the song out there.
Amazing that you could write a kid's song and then all of a sudden it ends up in something worldwide.
Marvin Gaye's family, they're the ones. They sue Crew all the time.
Yeah, but who did they sue?
Well,
Robin Thicke.
Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke.
And they won, didn't they?
Yeah, they won that one. That was big.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Kate Ritchie's
Scene Queen.
How good is this, guys?
I actually thought about this in the shower this morning.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I hope you didn't.
I'm so excited.
Which kind of big hits were you singing?
A lot of Beyonce.
Okay. I'm your host, owner of a steel booty, and ready to get popping. Please welcome to the studio. It's Kate Ritchie.
Ritchie, host.
As we know, the game is very simple. There are 3 rounds. You've pretty much talked through it, Whipper. In each round, there are 3 songs, and the 3 songs are connected by a crazy theme.
Love this so much.
Can be simpler in round 1, just to warm you guys up.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Get ready, guys. Please let me play the songs. You know, like, don't jump in too early. Let the people at home play. Round number 1, song number 1.
Don't win my love. That heart is so cold.
Love this.
All over my own. Babe.
Ed Sheeran.
Yep, don't. Song number 2.
Oh, it's JT.
Very controversial, that song, and the clip, wasn't
Great
it?
song. Really good song.
I like the bit at the end where it goes quiet and then it comes back again. What's that called in music? It's got the little extra bit at the end.
It's
Called the
amazing.
extra bit at the end.
No, it's not. Song number 3. You can see Tom with a furrowed brow.
Ariana Grande.
Yes, it is. What do you think? What's the common link?
They're all doing some beatboxing sounds with their own mouth.
No.
Is it a songs about exes?
Yes, it is, Fitzy. All right, let's get straight into round number 2, song number 1.
Die Another Day, Madonna. What?
That was quick.
Huge fan.
What's this from? Is it from a movie? No?
Song number 2.
Diamonds are forever.
Oh, you think you're so cool.
Oh, yeah, Fitzy.
Hey, Fitzy's awake. And song number 3. I mean, what's your favourite of all of them?
They're all titles from Indiana Jones.
We should have thrown Adele in there just for good measure, and it would give it away because the theme is...
They're all James Bond.
Yes. All right. Well, you practically won this whole game, Fitzy, with 2. You better step up a whipper. Round number 3, song number 1.
Oh, yeah. See ya.
This is a great song.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
Song number 2.
Let me love you, and I will love you until you love.
This is a male singer, isn't it?
Yes. One of the greats.
Who is it?
Neo.
Teo? Neo. Teo Cruz.
And song number 3.
Flashlight.
Who's that? Oh, this girl knows you.
Jessie J.
Yeah. I think you might be
They all
stumped.
follow me on Instagram.
No, they don't. Rihanna does not follow you on Instagram. If she followed you on Instagram, I would quit this show and quit life.
Are they all songs from... from Sia?
Written by Sia.
Have you been looking at my sheet?
I didn't.
I said
Yes,
it
you
earlier, but
did.
you
I
didn't
didn't.
listen.
But when
No.
you did Diamonds from Rihanna, we all know that that's been written by Sia.
Oh, and then you just assumed the next 2 were. You're correct. Clean sweep of the board.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Halloween's not that far away.
We're not doing it this year.
What?
We made a deal.
You're a psycho.
I said, if I slip you a 50, can we miss Halloween? They all said yes. Good deal or what?
Oh, it's a big one this
Clever
year.
deal.
It's a clever deal. Well done. This is a new one. Cockatoo Island is being transformed into Fear Island. I thought that was Love Island.
No, that's a different thing.
So, from October 25th, 27th and November 1st to the 3rd, Cockatoo Island transforms into a world of chilling thrills and unexpected horrors.
It's actually a good idea. Cockatoo Island would be perfect for that.
Survive the haunted and asylum tunnels if you dare. Food stalls, blood bag cocktails and more await.
Blood bags?
Blood bag cocktails.
Hey, can I grab a blood bag? Can I get 3 blood bags,
It
please?
says here, warning, Fear Island's later hours deliver heart-pounding terror not suitable for those under 18.
Yeah, I'm scared.
But don't worry, families. Early slots offer spooky fun for all ages. So there are family-friendly sessions, but they're converting Cockatoo Island into a Halloween paradise.
When we went to the Red Room for Bliss and Esso on Cockatoo Island, it was in like one of those big warehouse sheds that they've got there.
Yeah.
There were cocktails on that night, and there were, I reckon, Tommy, you'd had 3 or 4, and I thought you'd probably set the scene for Halloween pretty early on.
Well,
you look like you'd seen a ghost.
Your standard joke for me,
Well, you're already ready for Halloween,
yeah,
Tom.
is that, the saying that I'm already dressed as Beetlejuice.
I know.
And then
you
afterwards-
do look like Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice a little bit, Tom, don't you?
Yeah.
Can I also took Huey glamping there. You know, they've got the tents there.
Yep.
You can stay overnight.
How was
That
it?
turned into Fear Island when I couldn't get to sleep till 3 a.m. because there was a hen's night right next to me. The girls were on fire. There was a few blood bag cocktails that night for sure.
Huey got an education.
So it's $40, and you get your ferry over there from anywhere that you want. But
Sounds too scary,
just Google that Fear Island Tunnels of Terror.
Tunnels of Terror.
Didn't we? We also had didn't they have the Wolverine promotion one year on Cockatoo Island? And do you remember we went out there
for Hugh Jackman?
And we had to wait about an hour before we got our interview with Hugh, and we walked out. This was when we first started the show, and Dickie was asleep on the grass. Do you remember that? Richard,
Yeah, he was trying to get a free entry.
and we went over and woke him up, and he goes, "Oh yeah, a few too many gin and tonics last night, boys. What time was my interview?"
It was 3 days ago, Richard. It's now Sunday, mate. You've had 4 of your blackberries going off in your back
He'd
pocket.
been out there for 3 months just on Cockatoo Island trying to get back.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Page 9 of the Daily Telegraph today.
Sprinkler versus sprinkler.
Bloke called Stephen. He's a sparky and he's sick of fellas coming out and using his front lawn as a toilet. They're doing a few whizzes here and there, and he joins us on the line now. Steve, welcome.
Hello.
What's the establishment that's near you? That why are they using your front lawn as a yeah?
It's the toilet. Look, I've got 2 hotels, one opposite and one 5 doors up. They're within 20 metres of my place. And, I think there's a sign in the toilet, in the pub that says, go across the road and pee in my driveway.
Really?
Because,
Steve,
it's a big issue.
how long has the old one-eyed sprinkler been on your front lawn there?
Oh, it's actually my driveway. I don't have
your
a
driveway.
lawn.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the concreted driveway. And this problem's been going on for many years, but it's gotten worse in the last couple of years since, toilets were removed and relocated to inaccessible places in one of the pubs. So I think it's just making it more difficult to find.
So how long did it take for this solution to come up with a solution, Steve?
Yeah, I probably about a year. I bought a thing online from America, to get rid of deer and thing that you stick in your front lawn, which gave me an idea of a motion sensor, but it wasn't very practical. So I came up with my own sort of device of a movement sensor and some floodlights and a solenoid valve and a bunch of pop-up sprinkler heads and a tap timer, and I put it all together and got my cameras and everything hooked up, and so now nobody can come into my place without getting wet.
So, Steve, if someone walks down the driveway, sprinkler out or not, yours will come on, drench them.
Yep.
Floodlights.
Floodlights. Full 4D. What is it?
4D, 4K,
4K camera vision.
Awesome.
Yeah, and but to protect myself, if I'm coming up the road and I want to pull into my driveway, I just go onto the app for the tap timer and I can turn the water off.
How good is that, Steve?
Yeah, and then I go back inside and reactivate it.
Steve, do you get a few friends around, the family around, and just have a bit of a laugh every night when you go through the 4K vision?
Oh yeah, everybody has a laugh when I show them. They tell me I should put it on TikTok.
Oh, you've got to.
I'm not really that tech savvy as
Steve, can you send it to us, mate, so we can show everybody? We'd love to get behind this.
Yeah, I'll get your number after the interview.
I love this, Steve. Steve, there hasn't been any accidents, like if a gran hasn't arrived with a shortbread and wandered down the driveway and she's been drenched?
No. I've almost walked in there myself inadvertently without, forgetting what time I'd started the system, but, all good.
Steve, I was thinking, Steve, if you're a Sparky, is there any way that you could add to this and get a bit of a voltage through them if they're deciding to do it?
Well, I'm trying to keep it humane, and low violence, and keep.
Steve,
low violence.
I'd love to come and test it out. I'd love to walk down the drive.
Well, I can tell you where I live sometime, and you can come in for a wee, join the crowd.
Steve, I saw an ad the other day. If things get worse, and it's like a security camera, which is on a pole, almost looks like a bird box, but it shoots paintball bullets. That's so good.
I could have done rubber bullets and thrown wee out the window and all sorts of stuff. But
I think this is good.
People, but this, I don't have to be home for this to happen. I can be in America and I can have a giggle with my friends over there.
You're a genius, Stephen.
Steve.
You are a genius. Thank you very much for joining us, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
See you on the driveway, Steve.
Bye.
Yeah, coming for a wee.
Thanks, mate.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.